Hey there, it's Kim Duramo. I wanted to make this video to share a process for releasing old energy in the body. If you're feeling, scattered, you're feeling down, you're feeling heavy, you're feeling like anxious or like really overwhelmed, or especially for empathic people, like you pick up a lot of energy and sometimes you're like taking it with you. It's not even yours, from other people. A lot of people don't know what they feel in their body. They don't feel what they feel in your body. And for empathic people, it's like we feel everything. We feel everything that's unclaimed by everyone else. But it's a great thing to remember to observe it, don't absorb it. And how you do that is being more fluid with what you feel, not rejecting it or protecting yourself or trying not to feel it. It's actually kind of an interesting thing because I've recently was looking in a lot of like groups on Facebook for highly sensitive people or empaths, and then all the posts that would come through were like from this victim perspective of like, oh my God, I hate humanity. Oh, I hate being an empath. And it was like, oh no, that's not what it's about. It's a superpower. It's just a lot of us haven't really learned how to work with that, being super aware, but to use it in a way that is like hugely assisting humanity. Most people are still very unconscious. So I kind of opted out of all of those groups because I was like, oh, this isn't really what being an empath is about. So in this process, and I did this, it was like a few days back, a week ago, I was feeling really heavy and like just didn't like what I was feeling. And I sat to just meditate. I sat in my sauna for a bit and I had my journal. And I wrote down just to kind of have some clarity about what is it that I'm feeling. Sometimes it's not like you have awareness of what you're feeling, you just feel really bad. It is super helpful to get present to it. And this is a great way to let the energy release. So I just, closed my eyes. I took 10 breaths just to feel my body. And that's a really great place to start because you don't want to reject what you're feeling. You just want to connect with it and let yourself actually witness it and observe it. So I just took 10 breaths to just feel what I'm feeling and be present to what I'm experiencing in my body. And so what came up, I wrote, I acknowledge that I'm feeling, and then I just kind of went for it, like fear, grief, disappointment, doubt, inadequate. And then when I hit inadequate, it was like ding, 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 ding. Whoa, that's exactly the energy that I'm really feeling, and it's like gnawing at me. So I started journaling about that. I feel like I'll never be enough, where this pattern came from. I'll never be good enough. I always have to do more, blah, 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 blah. Like I wrote a whole page of all this. Now, you're just expressing the energy. It doesn't even mean it's your thought or your thing or like, why do I feel this way? Where did it come in my history? Just acknowledge it. Observe it, don't absorb it. It doesn't even necessarily have anything to do with you because you might have just been walking through the town and like you pick up on all these energies and then your body's like processing them. So just acknowledging it and then observing it. What does it feel like in your body? Where do you feel it? Is there heaviness, tension? What are the thoughts or ideas that go with it? And just get it out and journal it. Like, I'll never be enough. I'm totally inadequate. I have to keep going and doing more, or it's not going to be okay, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't even have to be rational. And then I'll just journal and write all this stuff. I'm not enough. I'm so stuck. And then I wrote, I'm upper limiting and I can't break through. And it's crazy because none of those things are true for me. I know how to expand. It's okay. But to acknowledge what I'm feeling and just acknowledge the energy and call it out, give it all the space it needs, just express it. Don't be so embarrassed or make it wrong or try to like, I have to get therapy now because this is a problem. You are way more powerful than that. You can just let it through. So those were some of the things that I wrote, and the energy moved really quickly and it was very beautiful. But this is like a 3-step process that sometimes I use that I wanted to share with you in this video. If, let's just say you kind of sit with it, you take your 10 breaths, you journal, and you're still like, whoa, this is huge. There's a lot. I want to kind of really put some energy to let this go and invest myself in this process. So what you can do, the first thing that's really powerful, to honor and embrace what you're recognizing and feel it fully. What did I write? Witness it all. Feel and witness it all. So step one is to fully honor like everything I'm feeling right now. So you could do that first part of like 10 breaths. Breathe and feel your body. And then spend some time to get it out, journal it, get some clarity. What am I feeling? How much I hate it? I can't stand it. All the thoughts and ideas that go with it. And then you just sit with that. So you close your eyes and breathe. And you can do this with me now if you'd like, and pause the video and do that first part. Or if something's really up for you right now, just close your eyes and breathe. Feel what you feel and just observe it. All of this fear, or all of this grief, or all of this despair, hopelessness, it's just an energy. Or for me, what was this mega thing, all this inadequacy. I'm so inadequate, I'll never be enough. And so I just sat with it. And so breathe and feel it. Expand your energy out and like actually just witness it and experience it as fully as you possibly can. Breathe it in, breathe it out, and you turn up the volume on it, not down. You don't need to escape it. What you resist persists. So just breathe it in. I'm willing to witness all of this. I'm willing to honor and embrace everything I feel. So just 5 breaths. I'm willing to honor and embrace everything I feel. Okay. And then the second step is to choose your yes. So you're actually choosing something higher. And basically it's a yes and. Yes, there's all this feeling of inadequacy or anger or lack or frustration or grief. And I choose to be whole and complete in the power of who I truly am. I acknowledge this, yes, and I choose to move into something even more fluid and higher. So it's a yes and. So step 2 is I acknowledge all of this and I choose to expand into something higher. Now that is not with resistance, like I don't want to feel this, I want to feel good. That will just create resistance. It's a yes and. Yes, I honor and acknowledge all of this and I allow myself to expand into something higher. Okay, so breathe that in. And then the third step, we receive it and breathe in light. Now, we expand as we honor what, that step 1. Like, I'm going to honor all this unky gunky without resistance. I fully honor what I feel. And then the yes and to move into something higher is basically we are in an expansion as we allow ourselves to be at ease with what we feel. Like, okay, I have all this inadequacy. Yes, and I choose to be even more whole now. So the third step is you actually receive whatever that thing is, not make it go away or resist it, and breathe in light. So you take that light and you expand it beyond everything you've noticed about the fear or grief or inadequacy, and you let it expand to include all of that and expand beyond. I am not this grief. I am an infinite being having this experience of grief or despair or hopelessness. Or if you're empathic and you walk through the store and you're just like, oh, whatever this is, I don't even know. Yes, and I expand to be the whole of who I am and to be the truly powerful being I'm here to be. So let the light expand beyond everything that you've noticed and have in step 1 honored and embraced, beyond everything that you've chosen in step 2. Yes, and I am the wholeness of who I am. I choose to be an infinite being, have an amazing experience, and then expand beyond all of that. So bring in light. This actually puts your whole mind-body system at ease. It opens up your energy centers. It allows your body to transmute those lower energies that you may have observed around you from others or started to absorb, and it allows them to release. So instead of taking them on to try to like process them, you just allow them to dissolve. So in that step 3, you bring in light and you expand it beyond everything you've noticed in step 1 and embraced, and beyond what you don't even know. This is a really powerful way to use your ability as an empath and use the powers, the superpowers in your energy system to transmute the energy so that you experience your life in wholeness, not in suppression or victim or overwhelm because you feel so much. So step 1, I honor and embrace everything that I'm experiencing right now. Step 2, yes, I'm experiencing this, and I choose to experience the wholeness, all of who I truly am, the bliss, the expansion, the joy, the abundance. So it's a yes and. You can't reject that first part. And then the third part is to receive it and bring in light into that space of all the nitty-gritty gunky that I noticed and beyond that. So you expand beyond who you thought you were and more connect with the wholeness of who you are. So I hope that is helpful. Please try that process. Just practice it through now. Just take a few deep breaths to witness everything you're feeling in your body with a yes. Say yes and then bring in light to allow those energies to release. I would love your comments on this because I will be happy to kind of answer any questions or nurture you through this process a little bit more. But I will say, as empaths, we are not here to be victims, and we are not the cosmic janitor to clean up everybody else's unconscious energy. It's not how it's supposed to be, but I can see a lot of people are experiencing it like that. I'm at drkimd.com. Definitely subscribe on YouTube. You can join me on Facebook on the Mind Body Community. We go live every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain, so I answer more and more questions about this. If you've kind of suffered as an empath, or you've had like obscure illnesses that everyone's telling you, oh, there's nothing that can be done, there is so much more that's possible to begin to align with what your energy system is actually here to create and really use your superpowers, instead of feeling like a victim, like, oh, this is so heavy, I just want to get off the planet. It is essential that you operate in neutrality, which is that yes and not buy into the idea that you're a limited being. So just because everyone on the planet isn't functioning this way right now doesn't mean you can't begin to function this way right now. I'm a physician and I've been empathic my whole life. It was really hard. I didn't understand why I was suffering so much. And now it's an amazing gift because of what I've allowed it to bring to me, and using my insight and having awareness that of anything I need to have awareness of, and also assisting others who have chronic illness or chronic pain or anxiety or depression, or are really wanting to have a more abundant life of self-expression. So I'm super interested in what you experience from this practice and how you begin to use this 3-step transmutation process to really honor and embrace the energy that you're noticing, yes, and expand beyond it, and then bring in light to include all of the above that you've just sort of honored and witnessed and embraced, and even more. Let yourself be bigger than that energy. All right, lots of love to you. You can definitely subscribe here. And I know on YouTube, you've got to hit that notification bell if you want to be updated when I create new videos, which I'm creating lots of videos all the time. So certainly do that if you would like to know, hear my new videos when I put them out. And you can find me at drkimd.com. Lots of love. I'll see you soon.